From Colorado's news leader, this is the #1 rated 9 News.
Tight spandex, bulging biceps, brightly colored tights, all things that make a perfect comic book hero. But no superhero is without his or her weakness. In tonight's Friday Focus, 9 News photojournalist Ann Herbst and reporter Kyle Clark introduce us to a comic book artist who likes to exploit these flaws by illustrating on an imperfect surface.
Everyone has their guilty pleasure, their weakness.
Talk about comic books. I could do that all day.
For some adults,
Or the escape.
it's simple things like comic books. For others,
He does have the one weakness of kryptonite.
those weaknesses are a little more complicated.
Superman's big issue is that he's not human. Batman's weaknesses are just like ours because he's a normal man, but he also has the tragedy of losing his parents in front of him when he was like 8 years old. And that permanently damaged his psyche. That's why he dresses up like a bat.
Imperfections are what make these guys in disguise interesting.
It looks like a very run-down warehouse.
And they're also what makes this art studio in disguise
You look at it and you think there's a lot of homeless people squatting in there.
the perfect place for Daniel Crosier
This is my studio. This is my art studio.
to bring to life extremely flawed characters.
This kid who's been tormented, murdered, and then comes back to life to seek bloody revenge on his tormentors. It's very family-oriented.
Scorching stories into a not-so-perfect surface. About a year ago, Daniel traded in the typical ink and paper method of illustrating comic books for a block of wood,
Pine, birch plyboard.
a wood burner,
It's very time-consuming.
and a just-in-case fire extinguisher.
I burned myself many, many times. Well, self-sacrifice, whatever.
Tree sap is Daniel's kryptonite.
This stuff is really hard to burn with.
But he says the flaws in the material may be its greatest strength.
I'm the only one that I know of that actually does this, or that I've met so far. It has its own unique look. I know that it does stand out.
And like the characters he draws and the materials he uses, Daniel also has his nemesis.
Organization is a big one. Business sense.
But like most comic book characters, and most artists, he has a certain power.
I am willing to try stuff. I'll try it out till I either succeed or I don't. I think that is one of my strengths.
A strength that's bringing him rave reviews from the critics and fellow artists.
Most of the people that I've talked to at comic book conventions are just kind of dumbfounded.
Making him super, perhaps, in his world of heroes. With photojournalist Ann Herbst, this is Kyle Clark, 9 News.
Well, to get that image from the block of wood to the printed page, Crosier scans the finished illustration into his computer, and then that duplication is sent to the publisher. He hopes his unique way of illustration will catch the eye of major comic book publishers like DC and Marvel.